Okay, we got a new clip from the Daily Wire Lady Ballers, shared by DC Drano, calling it both comical yet horrifying. I would agree, but I would call it more horrifying than comical. We're going to talk about why, and I'm going to talk about it from a screenwriting perspective because I don't feel like the scene is visual enough to go in that direction.
Oh, and Mary Margaret showed me her penis.
Some boy showed you his penis?
What? No, not a boy, Daddy. Gross. Mary Margaret, she's a girl.
Girls don't have penises, Winnie.
Mary Margaret does. Penises are weird.
Can we stop saying penis, please?
He calls it comical. I get the sense that that is what they're going for. I intuit that is they want the scene to be, have some laughs. There is a laugh coming up. But I feel like in a movie like the ones they reference, these 2000s comedies by Judd Apatow, that they would treat this scene with pretty big gravity. Like, not that I can think of a ton of those movies that touched on like really heavy topics like, rape and sexual assault. But, Knocked Up had some scenes in it that were pretty serious. And so did Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and so did even 40-Year-Old Virgin. So I think that I get where they're going with this. And then, this scene also makes me think of like screenwriting impulses. And they just kind of have him stop and get in an argument with his daughter about it, which is a very passive thing for a character to do. And something I've noticed with the writing of Jeremy Boring's Rob is he is very passive. He just sort of gets dragged through scenes and owned by everyone. And I feel like I would like to see him take a more active role in his life. This would be a good chance. Some people would take exception to this, but for him to maybe go to the school and confront either the parent or the kid. Now that may make it a more dramatic movie, but I feel like the movie keeps wanting to hold this character back. And it almost feels like the kind of like comedic setup to Falling Down where you don't realize like Michael Douglas is the bad guy, even though they literally say that at the end of the movie. Like he just feels like he's going to snap. And I just want to see him release, and that's it. But the movie's not letting me do that.
Where'd this happen anyway?
Bathroom?
Well, why are they letting boys in the girls' bathroom?
Why do you say misgendering Mary Margaret?
Jim, what are you talking about?
It's very transphobic of you.
How do you know the word transphobic?
I'm 8 years old.
Exactly, you're 8 years old.
Okay, boomer.
That's the one. I'm convinced they must have been cracking up when she said that on set when they were filming it. But, he just got owned by an 8-year-old. You can't, I guess, that's sort of like, it's like Passion of the Christ, but a comedy, I guess. It feels like you need to somehow give him the upper hand at least once in one of these situations to communicate to the audience that this guy is worth saving in some way, because so far I'm just not buying it.
You know what? It's fine. We'll just have to get you into a private school. Some of them have good sports programs.
Yeah, cut that line out of the script. This guy's supposed to be down on his luck. He's driving a car that, smokes like a fucking chimney. And he can just get his daughter into private school just like that, snap his fingers. The whole point is he's down on his luck. He shouldn't have an out like that.
Private schools reinforce white historical principles.
Teach you that in public school, didn't it?
No. Mom, this was when Chris told me. He
Again, getting emasculated. Just getting dragged. Like, just think in your head, what's a better reason for him not to be able to pull his daughter out of public school? Either he can't pay for it because he's going through a divorce and his wife's taking all his money and she's obviously going to refuse to pull her out of the school, or have it that he could pay for public school, but he's such a bitch to his divorced wife and her, husband that's cucking him in the relationship apparently, and he just can't do it. Just pull your daughter out of public school and take the money you just implied you had to put her into private school and put her into fucking private school. Roll credits in the movie. Just seems kind of obvious to me.
Lady Falls, streaming exclusively on Daily Wire Plus.
Comedy is back, folks.